So in this segment, I'd like to talk to you about music and the beat of the music. When we started, I said I didn't want to confuse you and fill you with too much information, as you might in formal lessons where you're listening to music, they're showing you the footwork, they're asking you to keep count and follow the beat of the music, and then leading and following. That's a lot to absorb in a short amount of time if you're an absolute beginner. So what I've done is we've talked about dancing, different styles of dances that you can attend, and some of the elements that you need to learn in order to be able to dance, the 5 elements as I call them. Then we moved on to actually moving our feet. No music, no keeping time, some counting just to keep track of the footwork, but other than that, that's all I've introduced you to. Now I want to introduce you to music. Again, we're just going to talk. In the next segment, we'll play some actual music in order for me to help you find the beat and keep track of the beat. To a lot of people, that comes quite naturally and that's easy. However, when you're listening to music, you're listening to and enjoying all of the instruments that are taking place and the singing. But as a dancer, you need to have this switch in your brain that goes from entertainment, click over to dancer, where now you're listening for the beat. What does that mean? Well, in music, quite often there's a bar of music with 1, 2, 3, 4 beats within the bar. Not always, but that's typically what happens. Who keeps time in a band? Well, typically that's the drummer. And the drummer is the one who keeps the timing. If there's a bass guitarist, often they will follow the drummer and keep time, help to keep time. And all the other instruments are following the drum. And they're playing on beat, sometimes they're on the half beat, so it's instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, like that. And sometimes those other instruments drop out and they come back in. To make life difficult sometimes, even the drum will drop out at some point. So as a dancer, it's up to you to keep track of the timing until the drum comes back in. As a lead, it's your job to keep the timing and to decide when to start. As a follow, it's your job to also follow the music and the beat so that when the lead gives you an indication that they're about to start, you're already with the beat and you can anticipate it and know when to go. And then you keep track of the music. So, as I say, you're keeping track, but also you need to know when to start. And so you need to do what's called find the 1, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And usually the 1, the beat is a little bit stronger in a lot of music, so you need to learn and find that. Sometimes it's the start of the lyrics when they start to sing. That might be on the 1. Again, not always, but quite often. And this is what you learn as you listen to a particular song and dance to it more and more. You learn all of this and it becomes more natural. Because you want to get to the point when you're dancing, you're not counting, you're not keeping the beat in your head, right? What you're doing is that you're simply dancing naturally, like riding a bike or driving a car. It just becomes natural now, and you can do other things while you're dancing. You can look at your partner and smile. You can actually hold a conversation with them. Now, don't get me wrong, that takes a lot of work. That's a lot of effort and a lot of practice to particular songs. When you hear a new song, that becomes more difficult because, again, the switch goes on because in your head you go, I have to keep track of this because I don't know this song. So these are things that you need to learn as you go along. And in the next segment, what's going to happen is I'm going to actually play some music for those of you who are not used to keeping time, keeping the beat, and I'll show it to you and help you to find the beat as we move on. So before we finish, a couple of things. You know you're a dancer when you count and keep track of the music. You know you're a dancer when you listen to a song and say, hey, what can I dance to this? You're also a dancer when your hands are above your waist. Anyone with their arms down the side, typically most people would look at that person and go, he does not seem to be a dancer. Anyway, we're going to move on, play some music, and we're going to find that beat.